Chris Hemsworth is a man on fire. His always hot career is heating up another notch with Extraction 2. An action-packed sequel that almost never happened.
He told me to find the reason I fought my way back. Let's find out.
The original script, the character was done and dusted. He died at the end.
You were clinically dead 9 months ago.
We thought that was essential and the perfect conclusion to his redemption tale he was on. The studio started watching the footage and said, well, we should give ourselves an out here because this feels pretty special. Then the film blew up. It was the #1 film on Netflix at the time. And off began the collaboration of where we could take this character and what we could explore. And the thing that, you know, we knew the action was going to be there. I knew that Sam was going to bring that in spades. But the emotional component that we'd only really touched upon in the first film in a couple of scenes was something we were able to really dive into.
You fought your way back.
Chris plays a commando back from the brink of death who's on another dangerous mission in director Sam Hargrave's movie out now on Netflix.
Getting you out of here, okay?
A movie that was certainly grueling to make.
So you'd shoot all night, you'd sleep in the day, then you're back. So I wasn't even seeing the sun. And the first half of the shoot for me was probably the hardest.
Well, what we think had to be the hardest and the most dangerous part, filming those crazy stunt scenes.
There's some dangerous situations, like putting, you know, your lead actor on the front of a speeding train at 50 miles an hour with a helicopter 20 feet away. That's not, you know, a walk in the park. Yet there is inherent risk there. But, you know, he trusts me and the safety team and the stunt performers and the pilot, all kind of just very deeply because of the rehearsal time that we put in. And it's not like we're just showing up and saying, hey, I hope this works. We spend weeks and months, you know, calculating every possible scenario of what could go wrong and how to counteract that so it goes smoothly. And then, you know, the trust is there. He steps up and he does it and lights himself on fire. Well, we lit him on fire, but he still gets lit on fire.
I let him light me on fire.
He allowed us to light him on fire, but for the fans. Like, it's the commitment this guy has for the craft is unparalleled.
To do this every day for 4 months is, you've got to be really careful. I don't care how fit you are and how prepped you are, your body just starts to break down. And a big reason it starts to break down is if the mental fitness isn't there. And so that's something I've always been really mindful of. And a lot of weekends we were rehearsing, but when I wasn't, it was about, you know, getting away, having some solitude, getting in, you know, in amongst nature, and particularly the ocean for me is a wonderful reset and cleanse.
And that's one reason why Chris needed a nice long surfing break from work.
I've just taken 8 months off and basically just out of exhaustion and realizing that life was whipping by and my kids were getting older and I was missing opportunities with them. And so I had a wonderful time at home with the family, had sort of reinvigorated the creative spark as well, and now I feel rested and ready to get back to work. And but the choices I make, you know, need to be more curated about them, and it's not just sort of job to job to try and stay employed. It's now about, well, does this resonate with me on a deeper level? Is this going to be a fun experience? Is it going to be with someone I enjoy working with? Is the location interesting and somewhere new and fresh? And so, you know, different reasons now inspire me to work as opposed to what originally it was, which was just to try and have a job.
Hit like a train.
What also keeps Chris relaxed, though, is listening to Ed Sheeran.
Easy come, hard go, then life goes on.
Joking, he's a borderline stalker of the Life Goes On singer.
It's been said.
Yeah, Chris has already hit Ed's recent tour 3 times, including this one with Matt Damon.
The most incredible musician, obviously, good person. Humble, kind, great sense of humor. You know, I walk in the room, I've had 15 or 20 guests, every single person he gave a hug, introduced, named, that level of sort of fame and success, you don't see that kind of personality very often, and so there's an incredibly grounded individual there.
So maybe Chris and Ed can make a duet one day.
I'd rather bring him into a film than me try and sing. That would be catastrophic for the both of us, I think.